Yeah, started this time.
Well, he needs to fix his car.
Yeah, tell him to go to a team. Push. Tell him to pick either push or whatever else. Yep. Perfect. Whoever he likes more, I guess, right? Yeah.
Carro. Scuderia Carmona o Push Racing Organización.
Okay, he took one. Let's go.
Yep. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ready.
He's
When for the
a
Spanish
magic
speaking
man.
Kill Maddie. No, I'm kidding.
Let's do this, Corvid. Everyone else, mute or you suck.
I don't suck. Bye.
Let me just do a
He doesn't
second
suck, he
check.
muted.
He doesn't suck, he simply dies. Anyways,
we push for talking. I don't actually need to mute. That's the cool thing.
yeah. Cassia.
Well, Corvid, I'll let you take the main reins in this one.
Again, round 4 brings us to the Bulgarian Sea Prix. Welcome to Sofia, and we're going to get right underway with our sprint qualifying today. We're following Rusky at the moment, so no pressure on that man as we head into that first 2 corners that are going to be really interesting to see how the drivers get through those first 4 corners in particular, come race conditions, of course. Going through that middle sector, it's a little reminiscent of the Yeongam circuit in Korea, though it's a lot tighter and a lot slower, I feel, than that section before going really flat out in this final sequence of corners. So we head to this really tricky final corner to finish the lap. Rusky coming in, it's looking like an okay time, but it's going to be Sexy Digger in the lead by a decent margin. So we don't have the 2 front runners in the championship today, so it might be an opportunity for some people lower down the grid to get their win in CL. But it is Sexy Digger on pole position, followed by Matibar in the Riker Auto. Kamikaze will make it a 1-3 for Nordic Blizzard. Tomatoes will start in P4. Then we've got Jeff and Enigma, HPF 5 and 6. And we've got Kisir from Riker Auto, Rusky, Kata, and Urist completing the top 10. A really large spread of times for the first 10 drivers. Following that, we've got Crunk in 11th, Saucin in 12th, Prolime, Big Saucy Italian Woman in 14th, and Masca Bravus rounding out the grid in 15th. Wasn't able to get a clean lap going, but that's all good. I'd say it might be a blessing to start at the back of this race. There can be a lot of carnage that goes up on front. What are you thinking, Pimo?
Yeah, I think this is a race where we'll see many battles, many crashes. It's a very tight circuit, and that's the main problem that the drivers will be facing here today.
Alrighty, we're heading straight to the grid, straight to the lights going out, and Sexy Digger has stalled at the grid. He's completely given up his lead there. Matibar will take it with both hands outstretched as the cars enter 3 and 4 together. There's a little bit of trouble. There's, Tomatoes goes wide, Enigma goes wide. There's a lot of trouble there. Tomatoes getting in the mix of that, but it's a lot of cars just sort of squirreling their way through that middle sector for the first time, but we're going to go back to the lead now, and it's Matibar from P2 and Kamikaze from P3 on the grid who are heading us away. Tomatoes completing the podium for the time being, but he is under enormous pressure from 3 different drivers as they enter lap 2. It's still tight there, but it looks like Jeff has gotten to 3rd. And he seems to be pulling a gap. There might have been some trouble there. Tomatoes have fallen off a lot. Sexy Digger still finding a bit of trouble getting through these opening corners. Kata finds the grass, cuts a bit of the line, and blows himself up there. Rusky pulling into P5 and trying to challenge Sexy Digger for the position. Enigma following behind them, so it's going to be a little challenge. Rusky gets a bit too on the inside of that final corner, is going to lose the position, is making a few more mistakes. Kata finding issues, and his teammate Prolime is also behind him. Oh, that is a big swerve from Prolime. It's going to affect everyone behind him. Oh, there's so much drama, especially in the back of the grid. The two VEOs collide. Saucy Italian woman have got to find the grass, and that impedes both of the Bobcats as well at the very back. Tomatoes is in 12th after at one point looking to potentially take the lead off of turn 1. He's finding the grass again, going on the outside of Suicide. He loses another position to Kassir, it looks like. Going to go back to the front now, and Matimar is actually... He's put a little bit of a gap here, but Jeff has actually caught on to Komikaze, and so has Komi's teammate in Sexy Digger. So they are second and third respectively at the moment, but it's Matimar who's going to try to hold on to this win. He's making a few mistakes though. Jeff is catching up to him as we head into... we complete the 4th lap of the race. What are you thinking about this, Kubo? Because a lot of trouble, especially for some of the drivers we expected to be at the top of the mid-pack.
Yeah, we had Tomatoes with a fast start, but he dropped off all the way to 12th. We also have Saucy, who's looking to get points in his first ever CL race after debuting in JL today, I'm pretty sure. So he is doing quite good for himself, but he is fighting suicide at the moment. We also have Matty just trying to run away and get the win, but Jeff and Sexy are close behind. Sexy with that still at the start was quite crazy, but he looks to be recovering. And yeah,
He did cut a bit of the grass, so he has lost a bit of time to Jeff in the past sector. But Matimar is getting caught up by Jeff now. Jeff's in his slipstream. This could be trouble as we head into the final corner. Matimar makes a mistake, and Jeff goes round the outside to take the lead of the sprint race at the halfway mark. Right now, Sexy Digger might be able to make a move there. It's going to be a real challenge of who can be more consistent while running side by side. Sexy Digger makes the move on Matimar. It looks like Matimar's given him a bit of space, but no, they're going almost side by side through that middle sector. It's still going to stay as is, but now they're both tailing Jeff. I think they've both got slipstream. A little bit of lag on Sexy Digger's connection there. I'm not too sure what happened there, but he's still in the hunt. Matimar and Jeff are going side by side, but it looks like Matimar's gone too deep into that first corner. He's actually going to lose a position to Sexy Digger here, who pulls into P2. And it's just Jeff in front of him now. Matimar makes a grave error there. And all of a sudden, maybe his P3 might not even be safe now. We've got Komikaze and Enigma further back as well, fighting to try and catch up there. Further back, we've got Eurus now leading the rest of the field. He's 3 seconds back from the top 5, so if you can get anything past 6th place, it'll be a really good result given his start. Then we've got his teammate Suicide in 7th, and Rusky.
We've got a fight for the win right now here. Matty's
do have a
pushing
fight for the
himself
win,
back.
because Jeff has been caught up. Matimar is just trying to make sure he can't get into too much trouble, but he has found some trouble, and Sexy Digger's trying to force his way through, and it looks like he has. He's gotten back into the lead of the race. Oh, but he's made a mistake here. Jeff is going to get right back into his slip. Oh, this is really tight because all these drivers just, it's very hard to make that perfect lap and not to make those errors, especially with the tyres really degrading now as we enter the final 3 laps of the race.
Yeah, all 3 drivers are a bit less experienced. They're all more aggressive, not keen to just stay in a slipstream, and because of that, they can get into crashes. And now Sexy Digger
was a big turn. Sexy Digger really made himself a big problem then. Jeff has taken the lead, but we've got a bit of a lag issue at the moment.
Lag? Yeah.
More lag. It looks like... Ooh. Oh, this is really not good, especially in the last few laps. I think we've got it under control now. Jeff, Sexy Digger, Matimar. That is the order as we lap and a half to go now. And it looks like Jeff is just being a bit more consistent than the 2 behind him. He's making less mistakes. He's just barely out of slipstream range, though that might change as we enter the final quarter and enter the last lap of the race. This is the only real battle left going. Then there is a bit of a fight there for P7, I see, just along our lines. We might have to cut to that in a little bit. But it's Sexy Digger and Jeff. Sexy Digger makes it inside of that turn 5, and it's going to become the outside of the next corner. They go into the... Oh my god, it's quite a shove here, but Sexy Digger and Jeff go through, get out just fine. I think it's Jeff still in front here. Sexy Digger still looking for that one mistake he can make. He's going to go for the move into the final corner, but it's not going to be enough. Jeff will take the win in the sprint, and it's Sexy Digger in P2, Matty Bar in P3. Kamikaze will lead Enigma into P4, Eurus into P6. And it's going to be Kata in P7, Suicide and Rusky P8 and P9. Oh, wow. Quite a dramatic finish to this race. Got a bit of lags. We enter the final few drivers finishing. Tomatoes 10, Saucy in 11, Kisser, Prolime, Krug, and Masker Bravus as we finish up the sprint.
Oh.
Wow.
It says Sexy Digger won on the results screen.
Oh, it does. Wow. Oh, what happened there? I'm not too sure.
I
Maybe
guess
Maybe I
it'll be
wasn't
up
paying
for.
attention to the screen.
I guess it'll be up for
Maybe it
review,
is the
but I
stalling,
think it might
yeah.
be because of the stalling at the start.
Yeah. Perhaps. We'll have to take a look at that, but those two did drive a pretty epic battle, all things considered. Matiba will finish in P3 after getting a breakaway, but are not able to fully capitalize on it. Kamikaze in P4, followed by Enigma, Eurus, Kata, and Suicide are final point scorer today. Really big fight for P7 as well. I'm a little sad I wasn't able to really catch most of it as well. That was going on for the last 2 or so laps between those 3 drivers. But Rusky in P9 could help to improve come the feature race. Tomatoes in P10, Saucy on debut in 11th. Not a bad showing. Kisser, Prolime, Krunk, Masker Bravus are finishers. And everyone finishing within 30 seconds is nice. No one got lapped. All is good in that respect.
I guess we'll have to review that, but 6Y says Jeff won, so we might just give it to Jeff
Oh.
then. If 6Y's
We might have
willing
to
to
give
give
it
it
to
up.
Jeff. 6Y's, yeah. Interesting. Alright, so maybe it wasn't a deal with the stalling, maybe.
I think it was because of the stalling that the time was re-added.
Yeah.
Not re-added, but his clock started ticking later, you know.
Yeah.
We'll have a talk in FIA, but I personally believe that if 6Y has said Jeff won, then it should be given to Jeff. I guess we'll see.
Is Saucy in VC? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Saucy,
Yeah, okay, so
No, he is
something
not.
we should really start doing for the following weeks is to make sure that everyone is aware of like the ping and trailers issue. Because I feel like a lot of JLers are actually not aware
Aware.
of it. And yeah, that was a really chaotic start of the race. But okay, let's go.
okay,
3 lap
32
quali.
laps, fully dry. 3 lap quali.
Fully dry. 32, right?
Yep, 32.
32 would sound alright, yeah.
Also, I feel like sprints have been like 1 lap too long lately.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like the tire wear on the last lap usually has been a bit too much. Okay, so everyone just ready up, and good luck.
He's here. Okay, let's go.
Alrighty. Alrighty, welcome back. Feature race qualifying time. It's going to be interesting to see which one of these drivers will get out to the best start. Who are we going to follow actually? Let's follow Sexy. If I can scroll back to Sexy. Or we'll follow Jeff, why not? Ooh, a little bit tight. Can see a little bit of a gentle lag spike, if that makes any sense. So we enter that middle sector again. See, Jeff's approach to that sector is to take it really, really gentle. Try not to really force the car in and just adjust what he's doing to how his car speed is right now, but he did make a big mistake into that last corner. So it's going to be Sexy in the lead by a considerable margin, 3/10, and that's a lap worthy of UL qualifying, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a really fast lap, nearly sub 30.
Elite sub 30 is the sort of times you want to get on this track. It's not easy to be consistent, but it is quite delicious when you find that sweet spot on the corners. He doesn't find a improvement on this lap, maybe he will on the next. We've got Kata, Enigma, Kamikaze, and Crunk following in Sexy Digger's steps. And Matimar is the next driver, the only other one who's made it past the 31-second time barrier. Gonna follow 6Y again for this final lap. He might have touched a bit of the grass. It's no improvement. Gonna see Matimar improve. Jeff to Jeff gets in the second. Gets in the third, sorry. But yeah, drivers did get to improve a lot in that final race. I saw Grusky also found some improvement. But Sexy Digger lining up alongside Kata. And the HPFs are 3 and 4 as opposed to 5, 6 in the sprint. Matimar in P5, then Suicide, Kamikaze, Rusky, Crunk, and Tomatoes. Kit Kat's 9 and 10. Yeah, very spread out qualifying again. It's showing a really test on the drivers this track. Kisser, Eurus, Masker Bravest, Proline, and Saucy from 11 to 15. As we yeah, we're gonna have to see what strategies people go on for the feature race.
Exactly, there's definitely a few strategies you could go for, like a free stopper utilizing only the softs, or maybe a 2-stopper to bank on the mediums and the hards. So yeah, Crunk, underrated quali from him, P9.
No, PA.
Doesn't usually have such
I set my time lap 1. Rusky set his on 3.
Game will fix that.
I guess we'll see what the game says.
No, that's exactly what it says.
Alright. Yeah, it should work that way then. Waiting for Matty and Keys here. Apologies for my tardy team. Mostly owned by Guetzli now though.
But yeah, I think you could go hard, medium, and go for a 2-stop, or you could just go all softs and go for a 3-stop or 4-stop even. Just depends on how the drivers feel with the tire endurance and of course the curvature of the track. It's we've shown it's a lot different.
Right,
it's a difficult track in terms of overtaking. It's a difficult track in terms of following. But yeah, we'll have to see as the drivers start playing a bit of tire chicken on the grid. As we enter the start now, it's 5 red lights, and we are underway. It looks like most of the front runners are on the softs, a few on the hards. And it's going to be trouble. The Kit Kats go straight in. Oh dear lord. Kami lost a bit of time there. Eurus and Suicide getting in trouble. Jeff is into P9 now after starting in 3rd, and that's actually going to be Kata and Matimar making that run in. Sexy Digger gets a penalty. I'm not sure that was really justified there, but it's actually Kata who's going to start running away with this lead. As everyone behind him gets into a bit of trouble, it's Rusky and Enigma fighting for P2. Matimar getting in more trouble here. Sexy Digger makes the move. Kamikaze is still in that mix as well, and Jeff at the very back of that field in P7. We're going to go further back. Eurus and Tomatoes in P8 and P9.
Oh, black lag rocket between
that was
PC
a big lag rocket.
There was 3 people involved in that lag rocket. I didn't quite catch them, but Keisier was one of them, and it was huge. Huge lag rocket.
Pretty big. I only really caught the end result of that. There's a lot of drivers spread out very far after 2 laps already. We're going to go back to the leaders. And you can see how Sexy Digger and Kata running away from the pack.
You can see how skill-based this track is. We had a pack from 2nd to 7th in the first lap or the second, but now they are all detached, and we only have I think that's Jeff and Rusky together
Oh, but
catching
they're catching up to
Enigma.
Enigma real quick now. But the gap between the top 9 and everyone else now is pretty stark, given there's only been 3 completed laps. It's really going to really decide what strategy the other drivers work on. Given in a way they are in their own race at this point, given that trouble with the lag rockets earlier.
Yeah, Sexy Digger and Cat are really fighting right now for the win. Jeff into the pits. Is it Jeff? It is Jeff.
Wait, yeah, Jeff is into the pits and he's immediately onto the soft tyre. This is an interesting strategy to go for. He has come out in front of the big pack behind him, so he's maybe going for a ridiculous undercut as Katter and Sexy Digger make a bit of a mess of that middle sector. Looks like Katter is pulling away for the time being, though, but he has made a mistake and Sexy Digger is back on his slipstream. Oh, big shove there, Sexy Digger making that move. It was pretty aggressive, but it was there. Both drivers are now looking... Ooh, Katter's taken that turn 3 all to his own, and he's got to hold on to the lead for now. Sexy Digger tries to make a dive, finds a bit of grass, and he's going to lose in that exchange. But though this is where the softs will start to feel a bit rough for the drivers as we enter lap 7 in just a few moments' time. The two Sexy Digger and Kang are still finding some contact between each other as they enter turns 1 and 2 again.
I think the most incredible thing is how they've actually gained some time despite the battling.
Yeah, they have, and it's Kata making a few more mistakes and Sexy making the overtake, and he's gotten a bit of space to himself now. We're going to go further back. It's Matimar and Enigma fighting each other for P3 now, and they're a long way back from our leading duo.
Jeff is in P8, has just overtaken Tomatoes.
And that's going to be Matimar into the pits now, and so is Tomatoes. Eurist is letting Jeff through. And let's see if he can take some issue from that, something from that slipstream, but it looks like he's already lost it. Jeff is just on those fresh tyres, and it's he's running away, and he's making that undercut really stick on the drivers behind him. Kombi and Rusky, though, are battling, and it might be a problem for Jeff. It looks like he's gotten through both of them, though. As we see the leaders into the pits now, 6Y is going to come out, and Jeff is right on his tail, so maybe it's time for Jeff to make some of those soft tyres work a little longer with some slipstream. It's going to be Kato who comes out in P6 behind all 3 hard tyre runners here.
Yeah, I have to say this is a defining moment. 6Y was just ahead of Kader enough that he exited the pits ahead of the big hards pack, but Kader was not, and he might lose considerable time because of this.
Yeah, it's already about a 1.4 second gap between Jeff and 6Y, and another second between this massive pack fighting for P3 on the road as it is. It's 3 drivers on the hards and 2 on the softs. Kata's looked to finally got past everyone here, and so is Matimar for the time being.
Yeah, Matty's caught him now.
The gap between Matty and Kata is basically non-existent now, and Eurist, we'll have to see if he makes it stop now. So to Kombi and Rusky. Kombi will box, the other 2 will not, as Enigma is going to be on Rusky's heels now. Gonna go further back. We've got Suicide fighting a way through in P8, then P9 is Kamikaze. Tomatoes following them in P10, and I believe Tomatoes is also on Fresh Hards as well. Got Big Saucy in 11th, running their own race at the moment. 2 seconds behind them is Kronk, followed by Kisser, Pro Lime, and Masker Bravus at the back. And 6Y has almost lapped the back of the field now. He's approaching them after making that stop, and he's looking good.
Also
4.5
important to note,
seconds past Jeff.
Kader and Matty have caught Jeff now, and
have,
also
and
Matty
like
undercut.
at the very least. Matty has
Matty
undercut
lap 7. He pitted. And Jeff's tires are starting to wear now. I think this is lap
Yeah, I think
7 and
he's
he's in.
straight in right now, so he's hoping for maybe more pit stops. No, he's gone for the hard tire now, so it's a 4.5 second lead for 6Y over Kata now, and Matima on the fresher tires, but he's feeling them degrade now after that undercut. Sorry, Enigma behind them, potentially being able to make this move now. He's getting closer, and another 4 second gap as Jeff makes that stop onto fresh hard tires. Then it's Urist and Komi, Rusky, Tomatoes, and Suicide in the points.
6Y's gap, nearly a pit stop now. Looks like he'll run away with the win here if it continues.
He might just. And if he does, it'll be a well-deserved win, given he has been incredibly fast today. And he is going to stay out. And,
We've got the top
the
4
track
on
is-
softs, and then the next
Yeah.
6 are on hards.
Let's go further back. We've got a little battle between Urist and Komi now for P6. Both drivers, I believe, on... No, actually, Komi is on older hards, so perhaps he's trying to make that slipstream stretch the hards out a bit more, just to keep in position for the time being. We've got further behind them is Rusky and Tomatoes, who Tomatoes is looking desperate to try and make anything of these hard tires still, and both Rusky and Tomatoes make a bit of a mistake, so that gives Tomatoes a bit of leeway in terms of the slipstream, but it looks like he might just lose it as we enter the sweepers in that final sector. We made a pit stop. Matty Morris made a pit stop on the hards, so he's potentially looking for only one more stop in this race, and yeah, I'm gonna see if that undercut really pulls something off once again. I'm gonna go back to the lead because 6Y is in to the pits, and he is comfortably away from the rest of the field as Kata also pits on the same lap, and so does Enigma. No, Enigma stays out.
Oh, he does
No,
pit,
Enigma
and
stays in. He does pit. He does pit. I was looking at Jeff because Jeff has made the undercut work, and he is in P2 for how long? I'm gonna see what he can do on those tires, and what Kata can do on the softs. Ooh, a little bit of a struggle.
I want
there
to point
between,
out,
the two.
Matty's made an undercut and is now in the slipstream of Enigma, so that might be very helpful to him.
Yeah, that will be really important cover the last stint, I'm sure. It looks like Jeff is fighting for this position. Kata gets on the inside of turn 3, and it looks like he's got the job done. The grip on those soft tyres is just too strong at the moment. And that is job done for Kata. He heads back into P2. And further behind, Enigma has gotten past Matty as well, but Matty is, again, trying to use that slipstream to maybe gain a few tenths, gain a few seconds on the pack behind him. And it looks like he's held on to the slip still, which is very good news for him. Behind P6, we've got Urist still with Kamikaze, but it looks like Urist is starting to gap the Spanish driver. It's a bit now. It looks like those tyres really are falling off for Kami. Further back, Rusky in P8 is also on used hard tyres. Behind him, Suicide and Tomatoes. Tomatoes on really well-used hards. He might be able to find a stop and might be able to go for a 2-stop with just hards, perhaps. Then we've got Krunk, Tissia, Saucy and Proline finding a bit of contact there. That's a bit curious there. Saucy gets past, and Mask and Bravest following us. But it's 6Y who has lapped a good chunk of the field now as he pulls into the 21st lap of the race with a new fastest lap as well. He's looking all too comfortable for the race win now. He's pulled a 9-second gap to Kata in P2. God. Wow. We've got more drivers go, but it's actually a little bit of a jostling for P3 now as the two Heritage Performance cars are blocking up Matima on those hard tyres. Enigma might be able to pull away here. It's also the aspect of, oh, he's made a mistake there! And it's going to be big news for Jeff and Matima here on the hards. Is he looking to maybe... Oh my god, there's even more contact. Enigma has lost 2 positions into a single corner. Ooh, maybe he's struggling on the softs now, and maybe those hard tires are really working their magic for now. The 2 HPFs finding some contact as Matimar pulls back into P3. Gonna go further back, and it's Eurist. Sort of in his own race at the moment. He's still on the hard tires. He's still trying to find some time to those in front, and Enigma has lost even more time here. He's still not into the pits though, so this might be present an opportunity for Eurist come the end of the race. We've got Rusky, Komi on those fresh hard tyres, and Sue still yet to pit as well. Go back to the leaders, of course, 6Y. Perhaps his pit lap will be this one, but he is looking way too comfortable on those soft tyres. He's pulled a huge gap to Kata. He's pulled a decent gap to Matimar, who still is yet to pit as well. Jeff's tyres are really struggling, so he's actually lost the a lot of time to Matty, and he's in the claws of his teammate at the moment in P4. We're going to have to see, because Jeff is going to really need a push on that final stint if he wants the podium now. It's going to be quite tight. I think Enigma might also follow him into the box, because those soft tyres are also seeming quite rusted on. As I speak, 6Y has already entered the pits. Jeff goes into the pits. Enigma does not. Kata is coming out of the pits. Eurist is also going to join Jeff into the pit lane as well. So is Rusky as well. Gonna go further back. Jeff comes out on the softs in P5. Eurist on the mediums in P6, just ahead of Kamikaze for the time being. Tomatoes will be on the soft, on the hards for the rest of the race, so he has made the undercut on Rusky, but it looks like he won't hold the position for too much longer. No, he covers the inside well enough to keep the position, but Rusky on those soft tyres is going to be very hard to deny here.
In come Matty and Enigma. Will Jeff undercut? He does undercut both of them, but he does have 1 lap older tyres, and Matty is right behind him, so it looks like a fight for 3rd place.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be really heating up, and it's going to be a big question if Enigma can get to this fight as well, because at the moment he's right behind Eurist, who is like one of the only drivers I've seen today use the mediums. So we're gonna have to actually see how those tyres progress as the race goes on. We might see Eurist have more grip to the soft runners at the tail end of the race. So you can see it. Eurist is really trying to fight for this P5 and really trying to hold up Enigma. Enigma needs to make that move cleanly as they head side by side into that middle sector we all know so much about. And Enigma has cleanly got through the corners, and he is away. At least for now, he is away into P5. And Eurist is going to try and hold onto that slip as much as he can. We're going to go back to Matty and Jeff, because Jeff is actually pulled away. I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe Matty made a mistake.
What happened is Matty got a penalty, but I did not see any dirty moves, so it might be ping related there. Very unfortunate for Matty to lose the slipstream that way.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask if Matty can pull up 2 seconds to Jeff and try to regain this fight. We've only got about 5 laps to run, or 4 laps now as they're finishing lap 28.
Jeff's actually looking to catch Kader himself.
Oh, that is true. And Jeff is on a lap fresher tyres, I believe, although they're equivalent tyres to Kader, but he is looking way faster, and in the back of Kata's car, you can almost see Jeff slipping through one corner as Kata exits the next. It's going to be a real tussle if Kata can't get a move on as we enter with 3 laps to go on lap 30, but it's 6Y, half a lap in front. It is just pure domination from the Latvian today.
Enigma might catch Matty here. He's under a second behind.
Just might, yeah, it's really close between those 2 drivers, and yeah, Matimar is finding some trouble. Enigma is getting closer and closer with every lap too. It might be a real struggle in that final lap. We follow further along. Eurist is more than likely going to finish P6, and Komi 7th. looking a bit too far for Rusky to catch now. Tomatoes and Saucin might be in a bit of trouble at the very tail end of this race as well. Going to go back to 6Y as he starts the final lap of the race here in Sofia. We've got Katter and Jeff. And it looks like Jeff has made just enough to grab that slip as they enter with 1 lap to go. It's going to be a real tussle for this lead. Jeff tries to make a move. He's lost a bit of time there as both drivers enter with a single lap to drive. Jeff is making a move. He's gone a bit too far into the grass and he's lost the slipstream. But for
Here
now,
goes 6Y.
It is all about 6Y. He has driven this to perfection. Huge lead, takes the win of the feature race. We're going to follow back to Katter as we speak, and it looks like he's gapped Jeff just enough to take P2. He's going to throw the car through the final few corners. Jeff's made a bit of a mistake. He might actually get caught by Matimar now. He's right on his tail, but it's going to be Jeff
Eurus
in
beats Enigma.
P3. Mati P4. Eurus actually gets P5 on those mediums. It was the right decision. Enigma in P6, Combi 7th, and it's going to be Rusky. And Saucin picks off Tomatoes on the final 2 laps to take P9. And it's Tomatoes. Last one into the points in P10. It's a big gap between them, and it's Kassir and Crunk fighting it out for P11. It looks like Kassir is going to hold on to P11 there, followed by Crunk, who drives into the grass, but he's just a bit too far for Proline to catch him. And then Saucy and Mascabravus are finishing the race as we speak. Well, there's not too much to say besides complete domination from 6Y and pretty interesting battles all throughout the grid in terms of the strategy. A lot of 3 2-stop. Eurus the highest 2-stopper on that grid. He made the move into that last few laps. The last lap, I'm pretty sure, as Enigma just lost the grip on his tyres. It's only 6Y, Katter, Jeff on the podium, followed by Matimar in P4, Eurus, Enigma, Kamikaze, Rusky, Saucin, Tomatoes, your point scorers for today's feature race. It was definitely an interesting turn of events today, but it's going to be Nordic taking a huge chunk of points, especially over Riker and PRO, who